"Get off the bus! Get off the bus!" The scream tears through the cramped space, sharp enough to draw blood. In the center of the aisle, a woman stands vibrating with a terrifying, righteous certainty. Her finger is a weapon, trembling as she points at a stranger who has done nothing but occupy a seat. "You did that! Now you're going to jail!" she bellows, her voice cracking under the weight of her own indignation. To the passengers recording on their phones, she is a viral caricature, a Karen in the wild. But in her own mind, she is a martyr. She is the last line of defense in a world that has stopped following her rules. What we are witnessing isn't just a bad mood, it is a psychological emergency. It's the sound of a fragile ego being crushed by the weight of its own perceived importance. And the only way she knows how to survive is to burn the room down. But beneath the surface of the shouting and the finger pointing, her psyche is far more complex and disturbing than a 30-second clip can capture. This is not merely a cultural meme or an internet punchline. The Karen is a psychological pattern wearing human skin. From the outside, she may seem like a woman upset over trivialities, a delayed hair appointment, a wrong coffee order, or a store policy she believes was written for everyone but her. But these outbursts, these aggressive demands for total compliance, are symptoms of a deeper pathology. To understand the Karen, you must look past the anger and into the void it's trying to fill. At the core of her psychology lies a profound, shivering fragility of identity. The Karen archetype is not born, it is meticulously manufactured over decades of cultural conditioning. She was taught that the world was a vending machine designed to serve her. When the machine jams, the disruption is perceived not as inconvenience, but as cosmic injustice. Entitlement is her armor, but it's also her cage. She defends against her greatest fear, irrelevance. To a Karen, being ignored feels like being erased. Her voice is a demand for affirmation. In her world, identity is binary. There are those who serve and those who are served. She doesn't just complain to the server, she demands the manager. She seeks a sacrifice. It begins in a childhood home where praise was conditional and performance was everything. She was daddy's little princess, a title that came with a cost, being exceptional without being kind. In adulthood, when the real world refuses to mirror her, the princess begins to unravel. The barista doesn't know her name. The clerk won't bend the rules. Suddenly, the world is threatening. Every boundary feels like a personal attack. She reacts not with introspection, but escalation. Psychologists link this to vulnerable narcissism, the belief that they are a victim who should be a god. But the louder she shouts, the more powerless she actually feels. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. Control breeds conflict. Conflict confirms her belief that the world is out to get her. It isn't sadness that lives in her, it's resentment. And resentment is more dangerous than grief. Grief mourns what was lost, but resentment blames the world for taking it. She fights new pronouns, new customs, and new social norms. They symbolize a world no longer her own. When she says the world is too sensitive, she means, I no longer control the narrative. She masks that terror with the theater of indignation. A Karen performs it. The phone camera is pulled out as a digital shield, meant to humiliate, not resolve. It is a performance of power for an audience of one. We cannot ignore its structural nature. Many Karen incidents involve the strategic use of discomfort against people of color. It is integral. She believes she can summon the police, the manager, or the HOA and be obeyed. It is the legacy of a system where her archetype was always the beneficiary. So what happens when the system finally fails her? When the manager says no? When the bystanders don't flinch? When the phone camera is turned back on her? She is thrown into disarray. Her power becomes a mirror reflecting her behavior back, unfiltered. To understand the Karen is to witness the rot of stagnation. She cannot tolerate being wrong. She is running on expired software. Ideas about class, race, and authority that no longer apply. Instead of evolving, she doubles down. The past becomes her religion. Arguments with a Karen are never about the facts. They are about submission. Your refusal to be controlled is an existential threat to her. This explains the public meltdown. Shared spaces, lobbies, parking lots, are places she tries to police when they cannot be possessed. Nothing is ever her fault. The delivery was late, the teenager was rude, the policy was stupid. Never, I overreacted. Reflection would mean acknowledging she is not always the hero. She rewrites the narrative until she is the martyr, the victim of a sensitive society. This victimhood is a weapon. She doesn't feel guilt. She feels justified. It's retaliation masquerading as reason. I feel disrespected. Therefore, I am allowed to punish you. The Karen represents the dying breath of a world where dominance was the only measure of value. She is the last gasp of a system that promised she would always be at the top. The phone camera is her reckoning. She can no longer bully in the shadows. The whole world is watching, and unlike the past where shame could be buried, today it is archived. Will she change? Likely not. Change requires humility, and humility requires being just human. But for the Karen, being human feels like a failure, so she clings to the myth. Inside the noise, the fear remains. If she isn't exceptional, then who is she? She isn't fighting the barista or the manager or the passenger on the bus. She is running from the terrifying realization that she is just like the rest of us. A person no longer at the center, but just another thread in the tapestry. In the end, she isn't shouting at the world. She's screaming at the silence.